My name is Daniel, and in this video, we're going to be setting up a simple Hydrogen storefront using the Hydrogen preset app from Shopify. This is a part of the Shopify Headless development suite that allows us to integrate with the entire Shopify backend by using Hydrogen to build a web app. Then we're going to be setting up a simple deployment process where you can integrate with your own GitHub repository to automatically push new deployments to Shopify Oxygen. So let's get to it. So to start, we're just here on the Shopify pricing page because in order to actually deploy a Hydrogen storefront to Shopify, you need to have at least the basic plan. So if we scroll down right here, or if we press the button, you can put Hydrogen here. And as you can see here, inside of Headless Storefronts, build a custom storefront with Hydrogen, Shopify's React-based toolkit, and deploy to Oxygen. So Hydrogen is the framework that allows us to build the storefront. So these are all the React components and so on. And Oxygen is the cloud that allows us to actually deploy it. So Oxygen is like the cell, basically, but the Shopify version. So you need to have at least the basic plan here. And you'll be able to use this deal €1 or $1, I think, a month for the first 3 months. And that's the one that I am currently on. So when I go through stuff here, just remember that I'm on the basic plan. So firstly, we'll press the button here, Sales Channels, and just type in Hydrogen. And you can see here, we got a free plan available, and it'll load up this new. We'll just make this a little bigger. And we can see that we have Hydrogen here. It's free, accelerate headless development with all the tooling you need for production-ready storefront. So this is what allows us to build locally and deploy to Oxygen. So we're going to install this to our store. Give that a second here. And now you should be able to see this. Now, if you do not have the basic plan, that's going to be an issue here. It's going to tell you that you need to have a basic plan at least. So make sure you have a basic plan or anything above, and you'll be able to continue here. So I'll press Create Storefront. And inside of here, just type whatever you want. One thing that might be useful is a storefront is basically a place where you sell the product. So this might be POS, for example. I'm just going to put custom Headless Hydrogen, and we can set this up with either GitHub continuous deployment now. So when you push to GitHub, the repository, it'll automatically push, or we can set up CI/CD later. So I'll just select set up CI/CD or manual deployments later, and I'll show you how to do the GitHub thing in just a minute. So we'll create here, and it'll just set up some API tokens and setting up Oxygen right here. Storefront is created. Now you can see that we have these two commands in front of us. So I have a folder right here where I want to create my project, and it's just an empty folder. So I'll right click and open terminal. And what we want to do inside of here is just type out this command. So I'll just copy this and paste that in. Now you can decide to use sample data from mock.shop. This means that it will not actually connect to your current store. So I want to link it to this particular store, right? And this is where you might be asked to log in. If you're asked to log in, just press login and it goes through a little login thing, and then that's going to work. Once that works, you'll be able to see all of your different stores right here. So I have a couple different stores inside of my account, and we're currently in my store, as we can see. So I'll just press enter right here to use my store. And you can see I have two options now. We can select a Hydrogen storefront to link. So we created one called Custom Headless Hydrogen. So I don't want to create a new one actually, but if we wanted to inside of the CLI, we could also do that here, but I just want to link it to the one that we just created. So I'll press enter, and I want TypeScript, and I'll just press enter on npm, yes. Now you can decide to scaffold routes and core functionality later, or you can do it right away. I'm just going to put yes, and we'll do subfolders. So this basically just is going to set up a base project for us that we can deploy, and it'll just allow us to show the capabilities Some things might change here if you want to build something for a terminal or for a tablet, for example, but we're just trying to deploy a basic Hydrogen app to Oxygen right here. And in following videos, we'll be able to do these customized solutions. So I'm just going to pause and unpause once this has been set up. Okay, and it's about 1 minute later, and now we have the storefront setup complete. You can see here that it's configured in this way, and if I just open up the folder, again, we have this new folder. And if I just quickly open that inside of my IDE, we have a bunch of files here. So we have server, storefront, all this stuff. We don't really need to think about this. For now, you can watch my first video to see a tutorial on how to build from here, but we just want to deploy this to Oxygen in this video. So just to give an example, we just want to run npm run dev so we can check out what it currently looks like. Now, the first time it does this, it might take a few seconds to run the npm run dev command. So if it takes a little while, like it is for me, don't worry and just give it a minute. Okay, and now you can see that it has injected environment variables into Mini Oxygen. Mini Oxygen is the engine that it uses to run the dev server on your local device when you are running the dev command. So it's kind of like a little Oxygen on your computer running. So I have a couple different products here already. I have a bunch of random surf stuff right here. And this is perfect because it's actually linked to the products that I've got set up in this store. So you can see that I have these products here and we have these variations. And so we can just quickly test the CMS integration and make sure everything is working correctly. So we have this new setup here. Let me just remove one variant for the brown, probably. Let's remove the brown and we'll just press done. Now there's only beige, so we should be able to save. You can see variants with option value brown will be deleted. I'll just save here. This is just to check if our integration with the store works properly. So you can see we have a beige and brown. It already is kind of correcting itself here. So if I just refresh right here a couple times, you can see that this selection now is gone. I had to do a hard refresh, and the way that you do that is you can press inspect right here, F12, and this is quite small. There we go. And you'll be able to right click on the refresh icon if you're in Chrome, and you can press empty cache and hard reload. This makes sure that it's reloaded as much as possible. So we can see here that we have a bunch of different options now, but we don't have the brown. So that means that our Hydrogen store, which is currently running locally, is properly set up with the store. Just make sure that that works, because sometimes it doesn't quite link up properly. So now we can head back over to Hydrogen here, and we can press into custom headless Hydrogen. And now all we need to do is do npx Shopify Hydrogen deploy inside of the current terminal. So I'll shut down this and we'll just put that command. And we're going to get a little warning right here. And the way we can fix that is if we head back into the IDE. Now, this is not something that's super important, but once we set up the GitHub integration, this is something that's important. So just for now, we want to head over to this source control area right here, and you can see that it actually set up a local unpublished GitHub repository. And this makes it very easy for us to set up the whole CI/CD pipeline. So what I'll do here is press the yes button. Now it's committed. So now we'll run the command again. We should not get a little warning, and we can select an environment to deploy to. So of course, you want to deploy to preview if you just want to put something out there for a client or something that they can just see before you actually put it to the live site. What I'm going to do here is push it straight to production, and we can see what that looks like. So it says creating a deployment against production. Continue. Yes, I want to confirm the deployment. Now that's going to build the whole project in my system, and that's going to upload it to Oxygen. We can see that that seems to have gone very well. It's very fast at building. And now it's just verifying. And it's deploying to Oxygen. So this might just take a few seconds as it's currently deploying. Now I'll just head back over here, and you can see on the dashboard inside of the Hydrogen storefront that it's currently being built, and now it's actually been deployed to Oxygen. So I can press this button, and now, as you can see, we're able to access the Headless Storefront on my actual Oxygen hosted link, which is super cool. You can see this bundle size, and if I want to view all the deployments, we can see that as well. We can go to preview, and if I want to deploy again, right here, I can also deploy to preview, and those two are going to run as completely separate environments. So there we go. That's going to deploy, and if I go back, we'll be able to just see that that's in progress. So it's a really nice experience to just use this, and you can very quickly make changes. So now let's move on to the next part, which is setting this up with an actual GitHub repository. For example, if you're multiple people working together, or you want to just have it be nice, you can push to GitHub and it does the whole thing for you. We'll be able to do that with GitHub. So what we'll do here is run over to storefront settings, and you need to just go to Oxygen deployments. There we go. So what you want to do is connect to GitHub. Now, the first thing we need to do is actually publish this as a branch. So what I'll do is publish this as a branch, and the extension GitHub wants to sign in using GitHub. I'm going to allow this, and that is my GitHub, and we're all set. I'll close this again. Head on back to here, and we'll publish to GitHub in a private repository, I think, because this is linked to my own store. So we'll be able to publish that right there. Now we'll be able to use connect to GitHub inside of Shopify. And I'm just going to press to use my account. We'll make sure to use the same account as before. And Shopify would like permission to. I'll authorize. And these are the accounts being linked together. My Shopify account is being linked with my GitHub account here. Yep, that seems right to me. And now we're installing Shopify. I think that's going to just be under my own account here. I'll just select the single repository that I want. Custom Headless Hydrogen right here. And I'll press install. I'll just refresh, and now I'll press connect. And now I can select my account, and now we can select the repository. Now make sure to select the same repository, and we'll just press the button to connect. Give that a little second. For some reason, the Shopify dashboard is a little unresponsive sometimes here. Okay, very good. So a couple different options. Comment on pull requests with deployment preview links. Yeah, sure. So that's very useful for a team. Select who can preview deployment links, staff accounts only. I'll just put anyone with the link. You can do that. So now what we should be able to do is I'll make a change inside of here. So if we go to the, let me just think here, inside of routes, and we'll do index. I'll just go down here a little bit. So the index page should be what we see right here. So we can see recommended products. So we can change recommended products to best sellers. Our best sellers. And we'll put a command. We'll sync the changes. And that's going to have triggered a deployment. So we'll go to, we'll go to the Oxygen deployments right here. And actually we need to just go back because these are the settings. So Shopify opened a PR to finish configuring Oxygen. Let's review and merge that. We'll just merge that in. So you just got to make sure to merge this first Shopify PR right here, and then everything is going to be set up. Very good. And we'll just fetch right here. Sync the changes. And now we can go to deployments. And as we can see here inside of production, we are merging pull request 1 from all these letters, and you can see that it's in progress. So once this has been deployed, we should be able to see that the update has just been made. So that's current, so we should be able to just head over here and refresh. And you can see that we just changed to our bestsellers. Now, I'll just do a new one just to make sure. Best-selling products, and we'll include a message. We'll commit that and sync the changes. So I just pushed this, and in just a second, we should be able to see that that triggers a new production deployment. So if I just view all, maybe refresh, give it a little second to just pull. There we go. So we can see the new deployment is in progress, and we can see the message in the commit, best-selling products, and that's going to be pushed straight to production. Now, you can see here that the main branch is where production is being deployed to. So if I wanted to deploy something to preview, you could just use a separate branch, and that's going to create a preview deployment. But if you want to deploy it to production, you can use the main branch, of course. So I'll just head over to the link right here. And you can see that it's now best-selling products. So we had our bestsellers before, and now we have, if we refresh, best-selling products. So now we've got everything linked up. The whole CI/CD system is together, and we actually also set it up with GitHub. So now you can work on a team, commit, and deploy, and it's going to update inside of the Shopify dashboard here. So thanks for watching, and more to come very soon.